Children, this week it is Parashat Vayikra, and we're starting a new Chumash. Children, does anybody know how many Chumashim we have in Torah? How many? Let's say the names: Bereshit, Shmot, Vayikra, Bamidbar, Devarim. So this week we're starting a brand new sefer. It's called Vayikra. And Vayikra talks all about bringing korbanot to Hashem. Adam ki yakriv mikem korban la Hashem. That a person should bring. Okay, done. So now Mora is talking. Okay, sweetie, sorry. A person should bring a korban to Hashem, and you can bring from your animals, and you can bring from the big animals and the little animals, and you could, sometimes there's different korbanot, things like the Omer sacrifice, which would be like a little bit of barley, or sometimes people would bring some flour, all different. A korban means like bringing a food or an animal, or sometimes it will also mean bringing things like money that can be used in the Bet HaMikdash. So I'm going to tell us a couple of little stories about a korban. One day, a very poor lady came to the Bet HaMikdash, and she said, "I'm so poor." Mara dressed her differently. I don't have that many puppets, children. And it's very cute that you remember which puppets are used for what. But we just have to understand that Mara needs to dress them differently and just use them for different people, okay? All right, and I need you to sit like pretzels because you're blocking your friends behind you. So I know. Please make it pretzel legs, darling, so more your friend can see better. So she said, "I wish I had something to bring for Hashem as a korban, but I don't have anything." And one day, children, this woman was very hungry, but suddenly she managed to find a few coins, and she got a very nice bowl of flour, a small little bowl of flour, and she really wanted to bake it and make herself a little roll. It was enough maybe to make a tiny little roll, and she could eat it. And she said, "No, I'm not going to eat it myself." Maybe she took a little bit to eat so she shouldn't starve. But the rest, she said, "I'm so excited. I'm going to go to the Bet HaMikdash and bring this bowl of flour as a korban." And when she arrived, the Kohen saw her. People who worked in the Bet HaMikdash were Kohanim. "I'm sorry, darling Nicole, you can't see properly, sweetie. Sit on the corner, you'll see better."
Come over here.
Yeah, because the blocks. I'm so sorry, darling.
That's okay.
No, I said she keeps straight. Okay, no more children.
No, there's no more talking.
And there's no more moving around.
Quiet.
Only Nicole couldn't see, so okay, we're going to leave that. And the Kohen came, and he looked, and he thought, such a tiny little bowl of flour? That's what she's bringing? But of course he took it. But in his heart, Hashem could see what's going on in people's hearts. He was thinking in his heart, in his head, why she brought such a little bowl of flour? It's not even worth anything. I don't think even Hashem cares about this tiny little bowl of flour. And that night, when the Kohen went to sleep, and while he was sleeping, Hashem came to him in a dream. And Hashem told him, "Mr. Kohen man, I want to tell you something. That poor lady, she's so poor. She came today and she brought you a bowl of flour. And you thought, such a tiny little bowl of flour, maybe it isn't worth anything." Hashem tells him, "You know what? To that lady, it's like she gave up her whole life for me. And even though it looks like just a little bowl of flour to you, in my eyes," Hashem told the Kohen, "it's so precious. It's not how much you give, it's how you give it. If you give it with excitement and with joy, and even though she really didn't have very much to her, it was like she was giving her whole life for Hashem, like she was having Mesirut Nefesh." And there's another story that tells us the similar kind of idea, that once there was a very, very rich man And the rich man was walking to the Bet HaMikdash, all showing off. He owned a very fat, big cow, was a juicy cow. And he thought, I'm gonna bring this cow as a korban for Hashem. The Kohanim will take it and they will bring it on the Mizbeach. The Mizbeach was a special big kind of a table, a huge table that they climbed on. Like it had like a slide, you had to walk up the slide, and then it had like this big platform on top. It was almost like a stage, a small stage or a bima. It's called a mizbeach. And the Kohanim would slaughter the animals and they'd bring it up, and a pillar of smoke would have go up to Shamayim, like Hashem was taking up the present to Shamayim. Hashem was taking the animal and accepting this animal or this bowl of flour or these vegetables or whatever the person brought. And he thought, mine's the best. I'm the richest. I have so much money. And I am bringing the fattest cow in the whole of Israel. I'm so lucky. Mwah, cow. Mwah. And the cow just sat itself down. It plonked itself down. And the man thought, oh, nice cow. You must be a bit tired. Okay, we'll wait. And as he was waiting, coming along was a very poor man. And the poor man looked at the rich man with the fat cow, and he thought, wow, he's so lucky. He has such a big cow to bring up as a korban for Hashem. All I have is a little sack with a few vegetables. Oh, hardly anything. And he was carrying it on his back. But he thought, Hashem, I love you so much. This is all I have. Everything I own is in this little sack. My few little vegetables that grew on my little patch of ground. I'm going to bring it as a gift for the Bet HaMikdash. And he was so happy that he was bringing it. But then he saw the man with the big cow. And he thought, oh, his korban is much bigger than mine. It's much better than mine. Hashem must like his more. But you know what? As he passed, he could see the rich man. He was walking toward the Bet HaMikdash. He was coming up ahead on the mountain. He was climbing up the mountain to go to the Bet HaMikdash. But he could see that the cow wasn't moving. The cow just sat down and went moo, moo. And the rich man tried to push his cow. He said, come on, you rested enough. Come on. Oh, ow. Goodness, let's try this way. Oh, but ow, oh, you're sitting on me. Oh, you're too heavy. Oh, let's try pulling you this way. Oh, ow, oh, I can't get you to move. Come on, Mr. Cow. I know I'm going to come and run and try to push you. Ready, set, go. Oh, this isn't working. And the man sat down and he said, oh no, am I going to get my cow to the Bet HaMikdash? And the poor man said, you know what? I have a sack with vegetables, a few little vegetables. Cows like to eat vegetables. Let's try this. And the poor man came and he said, come on, cow. Come on, Mr. Cow. Smell the vegetables. And the cow smelled the vegetables. Moo, yum, yum, moo. And the poor man said, come on, let's go. And the cow followed the poor man who was carrying the vegetables. And he followed him all the way up to the Bet HaMikdash. And the poor man was able to bring the fat cow to the Bet HaMikdash. And the rich man said, thank you. And when he came, everybody came to look at the beautiful big cow. And they thought, oh, wow, look what an amazing fat big cow he brought as a korban to Hashem. And nobody noticed the poor man with the few little vegetables. And everybody gathered around the rich man and thought, oh, you're so good. You brought such a fat cow. And the poor man stood on the corner with his few vegetables. And he thought, oh, maybe my vegetables, they're not worth very much. But this is what I have, and that's what I'm going to bring for Hashem. Don't do that, darling. Sorry, sweetheart. Thank you. And so, yeah, darling, you'll see better, Motek, from the back. So That night also, the rich man went to sleep. And he was thinking about how Hashem must have loved his cow. And Hashem came to him in a dream, and Hashem told him, thank you for the lovely cow. It was very nice. But you know what? The poor man's bag of vegetables is worth more for me than your big cow. It's even more precious because he gave everything he had. It's not how much you give. It's how you give it, and you give it with so much joy, and it's what you have and how much you give from what you have. So children, sometimes, today children, by the way, we don't have the Bet HaMikdash to do things like, yes, soon, Hashem, and then we'll have the Bet HaMikdash again, but we don't have it yet. And we can't come to the Bet HaMikdash. Instead, we could serve Hashem with other mitzvot and do other mitzvot of sharing and on giving. And you know, children, this week it was the birthday of a very big tzaddik. His name was the Rebbe Rashab. The Rebbe Rashab was the 5th Lubavitcher Rebbe. Some of you learned about it in school with your mowers already. And the Rebbe Rashab, children, it was his birthday. And you know what he did? He opened a very wonderful yeshiva called Tomchei Tmimim. Tomchei Tmimim means a yeshiva for very, very pure people, that when a person is a Tamim, he serves Hashem with all his heart. And that's what the Rebbe Rashab wanted to do, to teach everyone to serve Hashem with all our hearts. That's why he called his yeshiva Tomchei Tmimim. And even though, children, our school is not a big yeshiva, our school was opened with the bracha and the blessing of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, also the 7th Lubavitcher Rebbe. And children, you know, children, that today, children, although we can't bring korbanot, but we could do things like sharing and giving tzedakah. And some people have a lot of money, and they're very rich, and they can give lots of money for tzedakah. I know, darling. It's actually toys. It's not chocolate, darling. It's plastic. And they could give a lot of money for tzedakah. And sometimes you have poor people. And sometimes not even poor. Sometimes little children, all they have is just one little coin. But when we take that coin and we say, Hashem, I'm so excited to do a mitzvah and to give tzedakah with my one coin that I have, Hashem loves it so much. Sometimes, children, you have just one toy and you love that toy. Let's say you have only one toy truck, or you have just one little doll and you want to play with it. And then your friend comes and your friend wants to play with your toy. When you share that toy, it makes Hashem so happy, because you're giving and you're sharing with your whole heart, with everything you want. And you know what?
My cousin came to my house and they shared the ball.
That's a wonderful mitzvah. And we all, right. Okay, children, Mara wants to hear, we'll hear all the stories a little later, but I know that you're all such mitzvah children, and that we know the great mitzvah of sharing and giving tzedakah also. And Be'ezrat Hashem will look at all our wonderful mitzvot, and Hashem will again build for us the Beit HaMikdash and bring Mashiach now. Thank you, Yaladim.